Well, hello, my name is Jim Royal. I am a huge Beatles and Elvis Presley fan and basically classic rock in general. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. At the end of the video, if you could do a thumbs up, that's always most appreciated. And feel free to leave comments. I always enjoy reading them and I do my best to try to respond in a timely manner. Today what I wanted to do is talk about a brand new release that came out today on Friday, July 23rd, 2021. It is the McCartney III Imagined album. What this was originally McCartney III came out last year, December of 2020, and it was a regular studio album. I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it. I was really glad that he had recorded it during the pandemic. He called it Rockdown. And it was good that he was able to do something creative because he wasn't able to tour at that time. So I was very happy with it. Well, at that time, there was talk, and I know there was an interview where they asked him, they said, hey, we heard that you had recorded 25 songs during this period. What about the other songs that didn't make the album? And he didn't, he kind of dodged the question, Well, what he was cooking probably at that time was this Imagined album. All right, so what this says, it says, this is an album of McCartney III songs reimagined by fellow artists and friends, personally curated by Paul. It's featuring Beck, Phoebe Bridgers, Damon Albarn, St. Vincent, and more. All right, so you have all of the songs that were on the original album, but you have a bonus track on here, which is another version of the song Long-Tailed Winter Bird. There's two versions on here if you get the Target exclusive. All right, so when this came out, I was hearing about that digitally. This came out already in April of 2021. So today the physical copy dropped, and I went on the website target.com and I was thinking, all right, let me just see how much this is. I wasn't too interested initially about it, just because I thought another tribute album, really. But I don't really look at it as a tribute album, okay? Usually a tribute album, they'll take an artist, a great artist, well-known, and they will re-record most of the time the well-known songs. In this case, we had a relatively new album, and you had these contemporary artists of the day, primarily, re-recording them, reimagining them, imagining them differently. And I kind of like that idea after I heard one of the songs. So I watched the video for Beck, the Find My Way song, on Thursday the 22nd, yesterday, the video dropped. So I caught the video this morning, and it features a young 1965 circa Paul CGI computer graphics, wearing a suit, and tie and dancing around, and he's going down a hallway and other stuff. And I'm like, this is really cool. And I've always liked Beck. Beck has been around almost 30 years. I have some of his music. I think he's a really good artist. And I thought he did a really good job. So what you have here in some cases is you have, in this case, you have the track Find My Way, recorded by Paul, with Paul on it, and you have Beck on it also, and then adding his own different sounds and beats and things like that. So on this album, that's what you're getting. You're getting some of that, and then in some cases you're getting artists on here that are totally re-recording those songs. Okay, kind of half and half. So I went on Target.com and I noticed that the CD was available at a store near me. And it was $9.99, and I'm like, okay, that's worth it. I'm going to pick it up. A little curious about this, so I went over there, and at the time it said that the vinyl was out of stock at that store. So I did inquire at the front desk over there, and they said, oh, we actually have the vinyl in the back room, if it's not on the shelf. So they were able to help me, and I did pick up my copy here. I'm not going to open it up. It's sealed. I'm going to keep it that way. It is a 2-record set, and it is on silver vinyl. And it just looked like something, that's pretty cool. I paid $34.99 for it. I went online. on eBay, and I couldn't believe some of the prices for just, you know, the vinyl that's going on. So for me, I'm fine with that. If I do find a black vinyl, I'll pick that up, but that's what I picked up. So I just wanted to talk about this. This is a very fresh album to me. Literally, I just got done listening to it, so I can't give a proper review on it, but I can tell you that listening to it, it's a little overwhelming in the fact that just sounds are coming from everywhere. You know, if you've listened to McCartney III and you're, you know, very familiar with that, there is the familiarity with, you know, him on there. You know, you hear the song like Deep Deep Down, I'm listening to it and I'm like, all right, no, Deep Down, I'm sorry, Deep Down, I'm listening to it and I'm expecting something to go, you know, in one direction, and then it, you know, you're thinking it's going to get a little groovy, and it doesn't, and it's like, okay, but that's the that artist's interpretation of it. You know, Paul was completely involved with this, and that's the other thing. And then there are some songs like the Lavatory Lil featuring the lead singer from Queens of the Stone Age. And that's a good version, and you know, that is him just re-recording it. Sounds very Queens of the Stone Age, and I like them too. But you know, this has very contemporary sounds from primarily contemporary artists of the day. And it's not necessarily for everybody. I like to listen to different sounds. I thought it was cool. Some of it's kind of mellow, very dancey. Some of it is drum beats. I like their different interpretations of McCartney's songs. And I thought, you know what, this is different for Paul. This is a different venture for him. And I would probably have to say that for the average, just the average fan, I'd probably say it wouldn't be for you. If you are a big Beatle and Paul McCartney fan and you got to have everything, I would say go and buy it. I think some people may be just a little disappointed because, you know, you're hearing artist interpretations of Paul's songs, but it's kind of like, hey, you know, listen to McCartney III if you don't want to hear their vision. This is their vision. Paul's completely involved and, you know, supportive, and, you know, it's his project. So I'm not going to necessarily rate it right now because it's too early, just kind of getting, you know, listening to it. But I would say that there's just so many sounds off this album. It sounds very fresh. It sounds very new. It sounds very contemporary. And it is interesting too, because some of the songs where, you know, on some of these where you do clearly hear, you know, Paul, or even some of his lyrics, because, you know, it's just mixed a little differently. You can hear, you know, really great lyrics, some of it. You know, I was really surprised. I like the St. Vincent song, the one that, let's see, that is Women and Wives. I thought that was really good. Seize the Day is very good. Very nice. Let's see, Phoebe Bridgers. I thought that was really cool too. And then it's also, you listening to Long-Tailed Winter Bird. I told you there's two versions if you get the Target version. That was the opening track, primarily instrumental, off McCartney III. And, you know, you hear different, you know, artists, different interpretations of that too. So anyway, I'm going to give it a thumbs up for just something new. And I would say, if you like contemporary sounds and, you know, newer artists, and that's what you're into, check it out. If you're just curious to hear, you know, newer artists do Paul McCartney songs, and in some cases have Paul McCartney in the back, you know, because his tracks are in the back in many cases, and his voice, then you know, go ahead and buy it. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching my video. You take care. All right. Bye.